Hmm. Hello. Hello from the other side. Let's introduce our cast. We don't really have a post-mortem yet because we haven't played, but I would like to ask, with your introduction, maybe a hint about what we could expect, or maybe scratch the surface about a secret that the rest of the players don't know yet. But yeah, let's introduce our cast and our players tonight, starting with Daniel.
Hi guys, I'm Daniel. I'm playing Dazen, who is a Leviathan. I'm super excited, and secret that nobody probably knows about him is he does uh, underhanded things to get by.
Underhanded things to get by. Interesting. That's a good way of putting it. We'll explore that. Jacob.
Hi, I'm Jacob, and I'll be playing Ariel, who is an angel. And one secret about Ariel is, while he may seem pure, it's incredibly self-directed. And so that angelic purity may manifest in a way that doesn't resonate well with the surrounding world.
Hmm. Yeah. Jack.
Yes, I am Jack, also known as Count Jackula. I will be playing Caval this evening, who is an infernal of the House of Joy who just wants you to learn to love yourself and others and what you truly desire. My life is an open book. I have no secrets.
All right. For sure. Yeah. Open and shut. Val.
Hey everyone, my name is Val, or Valdrianth on the internet. Today I'm with you, Vera, or Viera, the diva of the group. So she is a goddess that must be worshipped. And a secret about her that some people don't know is she hates painting her nails, but she does it anyway.
Huh. All right.
They never
Wow.
stay. They're really sticky. Just
I'm sure there's no other dark, tragic past. That's it. That's as far as it goes. But
there isn't actually.
not yet. Give me the opportunity. I'll make it happen.
Okay.
Now,
I trust you. You better.
I will square up. Don't up the ante. I will do it.
Okay, I promise I
check.
won't up the ante. Please don't hurt my feelings. Don't traumatize my character. I don't want any of that.
Should be a game master credit score where you can check how that works. I would have a terrible track record killing people's families. All right, so Defiant. The setting for Defiant is unique, in that it explores modern day supernatural blue blood. You know, you're looking at a post-apocalyptic world where a veil has fallen over the mortals that remain. And the interesting thing is that we're actually looking at something more like mid-apocalyptic, because should the mortals or the Defiant within the domain where we play this game, should they wander away from their domain, they would quickly learn that the world is not ended, but currently in the midst of an apocalypse. Horsemen of the apocalypse and armies would march, causing this like eternal chaos and strife. But within the bubble is what is called the Carnival. A mortal would see the world outside the domain as Potentially a bit calamitous. Some disasters, some events, maybe a murder or two would be more than enough for them to justify the strange occurrences happening far beyond. But for every devastation and disaster that occurs, the Carnival tends to weave an explanation that keeps mortals happy. There isn't a reason or a motivation to red pill these mortals, so to speak, because your domain is largely powered by keeping society running as it once was before the world had ended. Each of you have a story to tell based on that, and I want to explore it and what it means and what your duty is to uphold this society. We will be playing in a town I'm calling Folkenstone. But I want to start downtown. It's a little mountain town. It's near a coast, but that's not what matters, because there was sort of a renaissance, a revitalization. The entertainment industry moved in. You have all sorts of clubs and casinos, and more importantly, theaters and parlors and shows. One such establishment would be the hold of Ariel's holding. What's your theater like?
Yeah, so this theater it's a small theater. It's been revitalized from back in the day. It was this grandiose movie, first stage theater and then converted to a movie theater. So it has that stage with the edge that sticks out into the audience a bit, and nice old red curtains, and it has the front balconies that have been repainted gold, and the house has a second floor of balcony seats as well. It doesn't seat too many people, but it is a lively place. We've made it a lively place. It's called the Golden Room, and it is a place of merriment and entertainment, all kinds of different shows and thrills and feelings and emotions and experiences and sensations happen here.
Yeah. One such experience would be the experimental performance that you and some of your friends have conjured up. I wanted to ask you, your guests, before they view tonight's show, they must consume something. How would you have them consume it, these mortals? Would you have it maybe a wafer, a drink?
Well, the wafer is traditional, the communion, right? And
Yeah,
so at the
it would
front
be.
of the house, as people enter, they have to take some sort of communion. So we have these very special wafers that we're. Do I have them at the moment, or do I have to acquire them still?
Your a new acquaintance who calls himself the Pope. He's become quite close with you recently. His face is strange. It's the kind of face that you can see. You see the skull before the face. His skin kind of hangs along the pointed features. He wears a tall, pointed hat and robes, but they don't match in any fashion that you would liken to someone who would call themselves a pope. It's more of a silhouette than anything. And he'll be handing these out to the guests as they arrive.
Fantastic. I should describe myself as well. Ariel is not tall, but when you stand near him, you feel like he towers over you. He, they, completely non-binary, non-gendered, long hair, sharp face, light brown skin, sharp features. There's this androgynous quality to him. You catch him from one side and he seems intensely masculine. You catch him from the other side and she seems incredibly feminine. There's something magnetic and irresistible. They wear a black swashbuckler shirt. A simple golden chain with a small bauble on it dangles on the outside of the shirt. They have black linen pants, loose but movable, and soft shoes. And they walk around the place as if they own it, because they do. This is their theater. So I suppose I would like to check in with the Pope and make sure that everything is in order, and then I'll head backstage and check in with the cast, and we can open the doors, probably.
Right. And when you check in, only a palm full are left. He's been handing them with hands to the guests. One such guest, one of the final to enter, would be Vera. Why don't you describe your character?
So, in a not very androgynous manner, as up to Ariel, Vera walks in. She is about 5'5". She's a thick girl. She is wearing a very shimmery purple shirt dress sort of thing, and elegant heels that she seems perfectly balanced on. Her hair goes from sort of like this midnight black to almost like a silvery touch, and it's probably around mid-length, and she has these steel colored eyes that that sort of pierce at you, and that's what humans see. What the Defiant see, who are not falling for this glamour, is she looks as she looks until you start getting to this lower half, and then you start seeing from beneath this dress a long, thick black tail with stripes, very, very strong legs. She wears no heels. It's the fact that she is too on these talons that she has. They come out almost bird-like in a sense, except the middle talon comes out into this terrible claw. Her fingernails are long and black, her teeth slightly sharpened and predatory. At least I know it's not competition, as she looks around.
Good evening.
Are you Ariel?
I am indeed, and who may I have the pleasure of meeting?
Hi, I'm your neighbor, Vera. Next door, the burlesque. Yes, that's me. I got an invitation. I am so excited to be here. I can't wait to see your
Fantastic.
performance.
Absolutely. Can I, as a neighbor, as a member of the fine performing community that we have here in Falkenstone, can I offer you a balcony seat? We have a few available.
For me? Absolutely, I deserve it. Thank you.
Please. I show you the way up the stairs and around.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps we can arrange a tour, a backstage tour after the show.
Really? For me? Little me? Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I would love to. And of course, tomorrow night, we can do the same over at my place. You know, quid pro quo, as they say.
It would be my pleasure. Right
Do you
this
serve
way?
alcohol at this theater?
Absolutely. Shall I get the service?
I'm a tequila girl.
I will make a signal to the wait staff that are traveling around the lobby with the the trays, and there's a little bar there, of course. And I will have a quick word with one of them, just tequila for the lady, and send it on up.
Ooh, you have them well trained. Good for you.
Absolutely. They are devoted.
Mm. We can only be so
You'll
lucky,
notice
can't
the
we?
Pope. This festooned costume. He seems young, maybe 19.
Mhm.
Didn't offer the wafer to Vera. Instead, he sees. He sort of just glances down, not quite looking her in the eye.
I understand my breasts are beautiful, honey, but up here, please.
You notice, yeah, he was sort of just looking at your feet, but then he'll offer
Oh,
you wafer and look you directly in the eye.
as
You'll
he
notice,
offers me a wafer, I'm gonna take it Catholic style and lean in and just open my mouth and let my tongue out for him to place it on there.
he will. And so now my question is, as a mortal, what would you imagine? You don't always know what the carnival will bring and how it will explain to the mortals, those fallen under the illusion. It won't always explain to them how things are supposed to make sense, but it always seems to. How would he see you? He wouldn't see your feet, just as he wouldn't see the angel's wings or the horns on a
Mm.
leviathan.
He just sees this like, it's 6-inch stilettos, gladiator style sandals all the way up to her calves. And she is perfectly balanced on them.
Perfect.
Like, she shouldn't be. She should be a little wobbly, but just strides on them with ease.
Right this way. Smile. Strange wrinkles on his face despite his youth. But he'll lead you and the rest to be seated. You do see there are libations if you're quick enough to grab them before the lights go out. I wanted to ask Jack and Daniel, were you planning on attending this production?
Was I invited?
Yeah, it was kind of talk of the town, at least for a little bit. I imagine if you're any amount of artsy, you would have heard about it. And it's not all that exclusive, I don't think. Just depends on if you have something
it's
better
not.
to do for the day.
Would my spouse be accompanying me or my slave?
I'd say that's your choice. You know this is an angel to which you've been invited.
Oh, then we're taking this.
Imagine it depends on if you're trained. Right, yeah. That's what I figured. And the lights dim. Ariel, what's the program tonight?
Well, first there is a really experimental piece of music. It includes some amount of singing off stage. You can't see what's going on. There are live instruments scattered throughout the hall, so it's hard to place where exactly the music comes from. And they slowly move down and gather at the pit as the lights come up. And we have dancers adorned in glowing EL wire in different shapes that accentuate inhuman proportions in their bodies. So as they move, it looks as though it's aliens or plants or sea creatures tumbling and swimming across the stage, not human at all. And it's all as a veil lifts from the stage, there is a play that starts. Also, very, very experimental, hard to put your finger on exactly what's happening, but somehow there's a thread through it. You feel like you're being brought along through the entire time.
Mm. The Pope is watching with a smile, not before someone, and just in a dark corner of the room, whispers to him, and he moves out as the show continues. What is your performance about? What does it show the audience?
This performance it's hard to say that it's about any one specific thing, but it's helping to open up dreams. It's really about dreams and the power of dreams that we have to influence the waking world, things that maybe come up in our subconscious or that we thought we saw or we didn't understand. And how does the psyche, how does the subconscious really bring those into our personality, allow us to live with the oddities that we see in every day. The idea of the show really is to make people ask that question openly. What am I thinking and dreaming in my subconscious? And how can that enter my reality, my every waking day, my unconscious desires, my unconscious observations?
Yeah. The mortals in the audience, the vast majority of those attending, they're entranced by it, perplexed, tears running down their faces. There's a sense of timelessness, but not weightlessness. It's a heavy performance, and it's a lot to see. The Defiant, you weren't offered a wafer initially, and if you took it, you'll feel something gnawing at you. A weak hallucination that sort of fizzles out over time, but it's so much stronger for the mortals that watch, and that's what they see tonight. They see a hallucination, but along the lines of a divination, perhaps. When it's over, the lights slowly come on. Not before you hear a scream, however. In a flash, like a clap of thunder, a woman shouts, and by the time you can turn your attention to the door, you hear a slam and an engine kick on. What do you three do?
Oh,
I would.
do I hear this?
Yeah, so you've attended the performance, and when the lights come on, one of the first things you hear, a few rows up, somebody's just been snatched and slung up over a shoulder and just out, taken
all right then.
in a flash.
I turn to the slave. Oh, looks like the evening's going to get interesting after all. Ah,
Vera, Ariel, what do you do?
My eyes are gonna look to the direction that the woman was hauled off, and then I'm gonna look towards the stage and I'm gonna look for Ariel to read their face. Because it's like, is this part of this performance, or is it like, is this a kidnapping sort of thing? I'm looking for some indications of actual surprise or acting on Ariel's face.
yes, very avant-garde indeed.
So then I guess I'll defer to Ariel. What's your reaction here? Someone's been taken, and it's not part of the show.
The first thing that Ariel will do is just the eyes flick to where Marta is stationed. The one of my devoted staff, just as a signal, move to the front of the house, find out what's happened. There's almost an unspoken connection there. We're quite in tune, and beyond that, Ariel will take the stage. Ladies, gentlemen, thank you for coming to the show. We hope that you enjoy the evening. Basically take that energy, that scream, and really wrap it up and cover it over in just an excellent display of passion for what we've seen. Please go forth, enjoy, party, dream. Allow your dreams to become your reality. And good night. And the lights are going to change again so that the house is fully lit. I assume people will start moving and assembling and shuffling, and I will move off stage. I trust my staff will let me know what's going on as soon as they can. There's no sense in getting overly agitated about this because there are a lot of people here, and this is a town in which, of course, strange things can happen. We dance this careful line between the carnival, between what's actually reality and what these mortals live in. And so my job here is to hold this precious space that I've made for them. I'm keeping an eye out at the other Defiant if I can spot them, just to not try to catch their eye, but see how they're reacting at the moment. If they have enjoyed the show, if they have concern on their face, if they are looking at me as if I should know an answer to what just happened.
Yeah, for the lack of subtlety in what just occurred, the woman was snatched and thrown over this man's shoulder. He bolted out. There's still a fair degree of panic among the mortals in the crowd. And then the Defiant, they're calm, but I guess perhaps more curious about how you're going to handle it. It's common for the Defiant to have to play the carnival, so to speak, and try to make sense of strange things that happened. And they're sort of waiting to see if you can pull it off. You can explain to them, however, this intoxication among the crowd, this enchantment that they seem to have, it's creating a small bit of hysteria.
I would like to spend a shard and ask a question.
Okay. All
My
right.
question is, as I stand there and I look out over the audience and the house lights are coming up and I'm thinking about what tools do I have in my bag to control the atmosphere in this room. How are they, the audience members, vulnerable to me? What would they respond to right now?
They're that's a really interesting question. They if there's one thing you've learned about mortals, it's that they want an easy explanation. They don't want the truth as much as they want the answer, that which is most comfortable to them. So it's that. A lazy and comfortable answer would be their weakness, because it allows them not to think about what just happened and maybe to accept that that was part of your plan.
I turn to the director of the orchestra and I tell him to call up the score from a piece that we're practicing, but we haven't performed it yet. It's a trumpety da 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 ba ba like intro, and I say just play 10 seconds of it. And once he puts that on, it kind of hopefully catches everyone's attention. That's the goal. And I will say, I will launch into a short explanation to say, ladies and gentlemen, the next piece that we will be performing here in this show is the a pirate's tale. So there's going to be kidnapping, there's going to be treasure, there's going to be adventure. And what you've just seen is the first taste, the first trailer of that. Come back next week to find out what happens. Will the assailant be captured? Will the maiden be saved? We'll see you then. And I cue the orchestra again to keep playing.
I think it's around this time that Vera is just like, yeah, I know an unplanned improv when I see one. She's going to make her way down from her balcony towards the hallway in the back, and she is pretty. She doesn't know this particular theater in particular, but she understands the stage well enough of like how to get backstage somewhere. So she is essentially just gonna kind of like walk in that direction, very idly, just like lean against a door frame and wait for Ariel to come back.
I lean over to my slave Tatiana and go like, go tell Ariel I would like to speak to him.
I will move backstage.
And then I wait
will. I will move backstage.
She will comply.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
After a few minutes, I will move backstage. I will move backstage as well. If anyone stops me, I will give them a very quizzical look.
No one will stop you, except for the Pope, actually. As you're headed over, the Pope doesn't stop you, but seems to be in your way, in the sense that he's gathered a crowd. A purple powder on one thumb, and then what looks like gold dust, maybe, on another. He goes to each of the mortals and just says, I bless you. The really raspy voice. Strange, they seem delirious. And he moves around. It's all so performative, but they seem drawn towards him. It's a crowd to move around, but otherwise he isn't stopping you.
Okay, I move around it. No need to make more of a scene than already is. I roll my eyes, though.
Oh, Viera. Welcome.
Hey there, darling. So I noticed that you had a kidnapping in your audience that wasn't planned. As the new kid on the block, I just want to let you know that really does not look good for you. If a scandal starts in your house. You okay? Something you want to tell us?
Oh, I'm fine. Everything is absolutely fine. It's a little unplanned, but certainly a surprise. Something new, something unexpected.
Hmm.
We'll work with it.
Mhm. Right. So by work with it, you mean you're just gonna keep pretending that it didn't happen because whoever was sitting in that seat before and their neighbors, who could be their lovers, their siblings, their parents, their children, will look over and when they're out of this haze and be like, "Hmm, where's my loved one? Where is my friend?" And they are not there or to be found, and the last place they saw is you. Again, you don't want a scandal to start in your brand new house. What you gonna do?
Uh,
Hmm.
am I there at this point?
Well, you're there. Yeah, you're arriving.
All right. I knock on the door. Like, Ariel, you there?
Company.
Ah, welcome. I suppose it's a party backstage early.
Oh, well, no, no. This is just the warm up. Don't get excited. Um, but
Too
yes,
late.
like, would you like to come back to? It's like, yes, I, I liked it. I don't think I quite understood it. I enjoyed it in the beginning when it, you know, with all the sex, but when you got into the whole thing about the fulfillment of dreams, I felt like you really rather dropped the ball. You know, people dream of sex all the time, and you should have just kept with that theme. I think, but you're the artist, I suppose. How have you been? Must be an exciting
Overall,
day.
well, it is
Hello to you
exciting
too, Kaval.
always.
Oh, Fira! I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to ignore you because I love to see you. How are you?
I know. Uh, I'm just back here checking out and talking to my new neighbor, who I disagree on your assessment of their performance. I think it was great. After all, just because you can dream of sex doesn't mean you can have a dream about sex that great. So,
Well, I
but
I
there was
prefer
another
things to
topic
be a
on
little more
hand.
on theme. Oh, what was that?
As this
Hmm.
conversation is going on, Ariel is going to try to slip out and move toward the front of the house to meet up with the with Marta, the bodyguard, who he sent over there.
Excellent. Yeah.
Arish
So they'll
sends her love,
speak.
by the way. All right. Well, he seems busy.
Marta
I think we scared him.
um,
Oh,
isn't anywhere to be found. She was supposed to watch the front door. She's left. You imagine, obviously, that she would pursue whatever just happened. Do you move out those doors?
I do.
Across the street, there's an alley. It's not far from Vera's holding, actually. It should be flanking it. However, you can hear commotion, a fight, a din of some sort, people fighting in the alley. You hear Marta.
I will move. If I hear Marta fighting, I will move, drop any pretense of showmanship, and move with surprising alacrity to that spot, trying to get in there, see what's going on. If I
Yeah.
need to jump in.
As you're moving in, do you fly? It's the question as the crowd disperses.
Not with the crowd here.
Right.
Not after the show
Right.
I've just put on.
Before you, as you're crossing the street to get to the alley, you hear a large object fall, and crash onto Marta. She lets out a grunt, and as you round the corner, you hear the muffled cries of the lady. She's been tied up. Yeah, what are you doing?
Can I use my Aegis rule and take the damage that Marta was about to receive?
Yeah, so you'll be taking the affliction in her stead.
Yes.
That's
and I can take
correct.
a challenge if I want to lower the severity of the affliction.
Yeah. So, before you apply your traits to this challenge, I'll ask, do you have any that you think will apply? This would be the equivalent of, well, you don't really know what's falling on her as she's wrestling this kidnapper in the alley, but you know it's just something incredibly heavy.
Yes. I am resistant to pain.
You're resistant to
And
pain.
I have been... We can do one or both of these, or you can throw them out if you want. I have martial training. I'm from my mentor, and I was picked for my insight around these martial arts. And so my goal would be to understand how to move with it to mitigate the damage, shift whatever large object is falling. And this will cost a shard also, I think.
Okay. All right. 2 shards spent. It sounds like what that is a total of 2 potential, if I have that correct.
Okay.
On this challenge.
Okay. Yes. I'm not
We're
in
gonna
my
make the
angelic
first roll
self.
of the night. Yeah, this would be an interesting time to do that. Let's see.
Can
You can
you make
hear
the roll for me?
an engine as well. Yeah, I'll be rolling. So you've been upgraded from, typically you would start with 3d6, and then as your potential increases, you will upgrade the size of those dice from d6s to d8s, and then d8s to d10s. And then with a shard, you will be adding another die. There's a bit of like stipulations about exactly the order that it goes in for upgrading, but in general, you want more potential, and you always love adding an additional shard. You want at least 1 success, and hopefully no trouble. But I don't think you can actually get trouble for this one. D8 and a D6. You have 1 success.
All right. Better than nothing.
It's, yeah, a hard-won victory. It was actually a refrigerator that was resting on a balcony. It looked like, you can tell by the impact, you can hear the hum. There was a leak of some sort. You took it. Marta is fine. You allowed it to fall corner first. It still pinned you, but there's no pain. This gave the kidnapper a bit of a head start, but as you make your way around the corner, Dazen, what do they see in this alley?
So they would see a completely. He's clad completely in like head to toe in black. Can't see any features. It's like completely blacked out helmet. But his motorcycle is of particular note because it is just looks expensive just to sit there. It is really bright red. Like when I say really bright, like you could probably light the streets with this in midnight. But that's probably all that they would see, as the motorcycle takes off towards the open entryway of the alleyway.
Yeah. Lights are on. Marsha's getting back on her feet, and you can see the woman bound at the mouth, tied to the back of this motorcycle that begins to speed away. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. What the citizens of Folkenstone don't know is that you're near the end of the safety of the domain. Straying too far beyond, you risk the beasts of the apocalypse, but you also risk losing your memory. A number of strange and terrifying things can occur when you leave your domain, including weakening the domain or challenging your own sanity or identity as a defiant. So generally, this is about as far as people go. Strange to see him make a left turn, headed straight towards the end of what's considered safe in this city. Do you follow, is what I'm trying to ask. Are you going to hunt this kidnapper, Ariel?
Do just they have the woman who was kidnapped with them?
Yeah, so she's been placed on the back of this motorcycle.
Yeah. I'm gonna go wings out into my angel form from the human look that I have. Just
Excellent.
big, enormous white wings burst out.
Fantastic.
take off.
And you ascend to get an angle
Do I?
on this guy. See? Yeah.
Yeah. Do I have any idea? Have I seen anything like this before? Did I catch a view of the driver of the motorcycle?
Yeah. Decent. What would they see in terms of your appearance? Did they get anything, or you're more or less pretty well disguised, I imagine?
He has a full face, like black helmet with blacked out visor, everything on it, like gloves. There's actually no skin or anything showing through, because if you're gonna kidnap someone, do it right.
Right. And before we get to what is going to be a chase scene, I want to take it back. Vera, I imagine you two are not as concerned about this kidnapping or this business with the Pope. Instead, you're trying to enjoy what's a fine summer night.
Question.
Yes.
After Ariel has kind of left and left here with Caval, we heard that motorcycle before when the lady was kidnapped. Do we hear it again as it leaves?
You heard the motorcycle? Is that what you said?
Yeah, you said there was an engine. You hear an engine rev and leave when she was originally kidnapped. And as he's leaving from the outside, from where we're at, can we hear it?
Yes. Yeah, you would have heard it. That thing is
Incredibly
thundering. Yeah.
That's definitely gonna catch her attention because she only knows one person with a bike that loud. That's her friend. So, Caval, you probably kind of what if they're just having a pleasant conversation, because there's two different Veras, and you have only seen Vera at face value when she's putting on a show for everyone, including you. Business Vera, not the real thing. But you see sort of like a look on her face, like sort of flicker, like of recognition of that sound. Fuck.
What? You look a little distracted. Is everything all right?
It's fine. Probably more fine than we assumed. But it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
What are you talking about?
You know my friend Dazen, right?
Oh, yes, of course. Dazen. Yes, what about him?
Yeah. Yeah. Nothing. And I'm gonna leave him.
Nothing? And then she leaves? Oh.
Yeah. She's being very, very whatever she is.
Oh. Well,
I just needed a confirmation, thank you.
all right then. I'll just stand here backstage alone. Maybe start to talk to myself. Hello, Cabal. How are you?
I'm gonna stop and turn around as he's talking to himself. Well, come on, let's go check on the angel. Like, if
Why?
you're not following, that will. Do I have to make cat noises to be like, come with me? No, come, let's go. Let us
No,
follow
I like
and
that. Do that
investigate.
again. Do that again. I'll follow you anywhere if you make that noise.
And she flips him off when he does that. And
Why are we
winks
chasing
as
after
she does it.
Ariel? Like, I thought he had some like theater business to do. Isn't he busy? I'm like following, but I'm like,
There's like a moment, like there's this look on her face that goes, man, he is so lucky he's pretty. Like, as just like goes out into the alley, probably doesn't see Ariel there. It's like,
if you wanted
Did
to
you
bring
bring
me
a
out
car,
into an
Cabal?
alley, you could have just asked. I mean, I'm easy.
did you come in a car?
Of course.
Cool. Do you want to bring it around so that we can get in it and go into the direction that I say we should?
If you like, although I do have somewhere to be in like 30 minutes.
That's okay. You can just drop me off. Where are you going?
Back to House of Affections.
Oh, okay. So it's not that important.
It's important to me. Business is business. All right, hold on. Tatiana, could you bring the car around?
Thank you.
I'll just wait. Well,
you.
now we have to wait a few minutes for the car to get here. How are things over where you are?
Define things.
How is? Well, if you want me to be truly candid, then the question is, what are you doing Thursday night?
I have a show normally.
The show ends sometime, and I know you don't sleep.
Hmm?
And I know you don't sleep.
I sleep sometimes. I enjoy a good nap. It's really good for the complexion.
Only when you enjoy it. Come on.
Have you not slept before? Like, it's nice.
Oh yes.
You can just like leave
yes.
most of the day behind you and not deal with it. And listen, my parents are just annoying, is all.
Your parents are annoying.
Yes, that's how things are
parents?
going. My parents are annoying.
You have parents.
You have parents? This is
yeah.
You godlings. I don't understand how you all work.
They're the head of my household. My parents. Yes.
Oh. We use different words. I'm sorry. I misunderstood. By the way,
but
what
I did
are
come
we
out
doing
of one
in
of his
this?
vaginas. That's what you're asking. Yeah. Or it wasn't so much her vagina.
I wasn't so much asking, but I am very glad to know that. Is it? What was it like?
I don't remember being born.
You don't.
No.
That's. Oh. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I hear its birth is pretty traumatic.
Well, I mean, not. It's an experience, definitely. By the way, Vera,
Have you
darling,
you
may I ask you
given
something?
birth? Nothing
No, but I
stopped you
remember my
yet,
own.
so
Okay, great. Why are we in this alley?
waiting for your
Call your
car.
clone things.
I know, but why did we come here in the first place? We could have left through the front and made an exit.
You saw the kidnapping, correct? You heard the vroom vroom of a motorcycle, correct?
Yes.
Somebody was kidnapped, actually kidnapped. It wasn't part of the show from this house. Okay,
Is
Ariel
that
went
what this is
after
all
them.
about?
Yes, too much drama. We can't have our new neighbors have a scandal in their house on my street. Okay? Now,
Well,
listen, here's
why? Oh,
what's also up.
whoa! When did? Whoa! Hold on!
I'm not done
Back up!
explaining.
Back up! All right,
Caval,
I'm
do you have a
listening. My
phone?
ears are open.
A cell phone.
Huh?
If you have a cell phone, it would ring right about now, Caval.
Oh, wonderful! I answer it.
Do you have one? Yeah.
I do. I do.
Yeah, you can
Yes?
hear a loud noise in the background. The sound of, motor. And some wind resistance, perhaps. Jason, go ahead.
Caval,
What?
I'm about. Can you hear me?
No, not very well.
you hear some rustling. How about now? Any better?
Is maybe pulling over and texting might have been a better idea, but okay, go on. What's up?
I have a psychotic angel following me, and I'm going to be at your home in about 5 minutes. Where are you?
I'm still at the theater. I didn't know he had run off after you, otherwise I would have told him.
Well,
Do me a favor,
I don't
just
get paid.
Just try to outrun him. I'll be there soon enough, and he might be able to get. We'll trust that he'll get the picture once you actually arrive at the House of Affections.
I don't get paid unless you're there, so make it there.
I will be. I am. No, you don't get paid until I am there. There's a difference.
You hear a lightning crack come like right from the phone. It's like, I gotta go.
All right. Well, you
And
better
then,
be
yeah.
there. You've got 15 minutes.
I'm just squinting
Ariel,
my eyes at you.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it
Oh my
over.
gosh.
I'll
Ariel,
explain when the time gets here.
there's one thing you know about this recent apocalypse, and it's that you don't head out beyond the carnival. It's called many things. Around here, it's called Oblivion, because for everything that doesn't quite add up with the carnival itself, it's sort of mirrored with the Defiant. If you leave your domain, things fall apart. You'll lose your memory, you'll come back changed, you'll disappear entirely, or you will be swept up into the ongoing apocalypse. The best answer is to just never, ever, under any circumstances, head to the outskirts. And that's exactly where this kidnapper is headed. A straight line, no coincidence. He's taking an avenue straight to the wall that you, a Defiant, could see. What do you do?
Can I catch up? Can I catch up with him at all? With my height?
Yeah, so that is going to be a challenge to make.
Yeah.
Afflictions and advantages will work in tangent to sort of compete. So if Dazen has any traits that would help him get away from you, it's going to make it that much harder. It will count as an affliction towards you on this check, but yeah, you can certainly try.
So I don't know how it would be on being on the defending side on trying to get away, but things that would probably benefit for what I'm doing: assets, crime syndicate, um, and then unsurpassed stamina. So he can keep going and make hard turns very often.
Mm.
That's all I
Yeah,
got.
we'll take unsurpassed stamina as a trait will count as an affliction towards you, Ariel, to make it just one step harder to secure your successes. But what would you have that might aid you in catching up?
I have resistance to pain. I can push myself and I don't feel it. I don't know, maybe that's dipping too deep into that one.
No, I mean that would give you the chance to dive bomb, which means you don't have to slow down. You can keep speed.
All I want to do is get one hand on this person, and then I can work. Also, can I grab a something to throw, like on my way out? Or no, I'm up in the air already. It's probably too late for that. I don't really have anything on me.
Well, you're downtown. There are tall buildings. If you wanted to dip over to maybe a radio tower, into small satellites, festooning a building nearby, you could find a piece of scrap to throw something. Even an
if I can
antenna to
get
throw like a javelin.
Yes, that's exactly what I want.
Okay.
If I can find it.
Yeah, there's one nearby, and that would put you with combat as your trait. Is that correct?
Yeah, my
Okay.
martial
Okay.
training
Good.
and I'm natural at combat.
So that's at least
And
two.
I would use my resistance to pain to really just not stop. I do have a question though. Us Defiant, we don't leave this bubble, but do mortals leave the bubble? Do I have an idea like nobody leaves the bubble, so this person is crazy? Or
It is a threat for mortals to leave the bubble. The world has ended outside of the shrine that is your domain. However, you can still exist. The tragedy that befall these people when they're outside, the surviving mortals make sense of it as a natural disaster. Sometimes the memory of the people that would die out there in the dangerous, treacherous land is removed from the collective consciousness of the population. So it's not uncommon for maybe a family to get wiped out on a road, and then suddenly they're removed from the memories of everyone who knew them. But make no mistake, you imagine both people on that motorcycle would be in grave danger to head out those outskirts. So you're trying to disable the motorcycle, or are you aiming for the driver?
I am aiming for the driver. Nobody disrupts my show.
All right, so that puts you 1, 2, 3, and then an affliction, or the uncanny skills of Dazen's driving. Should be 2, so 2d8 and a d6, and you're not spending a shard. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. That would be 2 successes. Okay. Well, then per the rulebook, what that means is you've earned 2 successes, which is the bump on the road. It works as 1 success, but the consequences are far less severe. So as you've really truly pushed yourself and overexerted, the consequence of this would have been causing damage to the people on the motorcycle. Far less severe, though. You imagine bumps and scrapes. However, as you disable it, the motorcycle hops and it skids out. The woman falls before the barrier to the outskirts, but the motorcycle is sliding across into oblivion, into beyond, into the danger zone where you would not go. Dazen, you have a chance to correct yourself and recover here from your slide. What would you like to do? This would be a good chance to use a shard if you feel like you're truly in a pinch.
All right, so. Give me 1 moment. I am going to use, where's it at? For the wealth, I'll spend a shard, and I will be able to utilize anything that money can buy. And since I'm spending the shard, I get it instantly. So Dazen pulls out a flashbang grenade and throws it in the air. And as the piercing searing light, accompanied with a deafening boom, gives him time to shift to his draconic form, which is swift. Which I guess before the flashbang goes off, you would notice that Dazen's legs become that kind of disjointed, forget the word for it, where they go backwards.
Mm-hmm.
We'll
say
draconic.
Chicken legs.
Kinda. But they are corded in muscle, ribbed with white scales, and he has an air of intensity about him as he dashes off towards the human woman that is now on the ground.
Yeah, so I will ask then that you have a chance to take a risk here. You could get away from Ariel, and you'd be pretty safe. You feel confident you could probably outfly him. She's about equidistant to you two. You could sweep in to grab her and try to get away. It's going to make it a little bit difficult. It's going to put you in a tight space if you're not choosing to abandon what you're doing here.
He's not. And he's gonna try to hope for the best with the bright light and heavy noise, hoping that the helmet would cushion the blow for it on his end.
Mm-hmm.
So will that be like a roll that you want me to make?
Yeah, let's do a challenge. I think you did spend a shard, so that's going to increase your chances. All right. And then you have a couple of traits that would apply here, I believe. Stamina. Your assets for what you've produced from the wealth, and then your draconic form are all 3. So you'll have 3 plus a shard, which means You're looking at 4d8. I'm liking your chances. See how you do. All right, 2 successes.
Roll it. All right.
You've got 2 successes, which means you're successful. At a slight cost. Your slight cost is that Ariel is really on your tail. You know you're not far, again, from the outskirts, and you're not far from the person you're working with, who could theoretically call off Ariel's pursuit here. But which direction are you trying to go?
He's trying to finish the job because, well, it's a job, and that's what he got paid for.
Yeah. To the outskirts, then, you vanish into the danger zone, the tumultuous territory where Defiant don't go. Ariel, if the stories are to be believed, that's certain death. Would you follow him?
Yes.
You would.
Damn it.
I will spend a shard and transform myself into my dark calling.
Oh. Okay.
All
right.
The white wings take on a cast of gray, this veil of grayness, and doubt spreads across Ariel, because Ariel's dark calling is the angel of doubt. And as an embodiment of that, unsure of whether or not this is the right thing to do, but also intending to strike doubt into the heart of this this foe of mine, I will shift, and all for new experiences. I've never stepped outside of this boundary before. I have to know what's up. Why are they so intent on this? Why not give up? Their motorcycle is down with a spear through the engine block. They revealed themselves. They're clearly a Defiant now, and they have this mortal woman. What is the game here? I have to know.
Yeah. She screams in terror as she's lifted away, into the dark abyss. The chase ensues. You realize soon, though, he isn't flying. He is moving impossibly fast in a terrain that is mutable and dark and disheveled, like a lizard in a quarry, bouncing along through this hellscape that is just beyond the place you weren't supposed to go, and yet you're here, and you can feel a great pain. Something's wrong. You feel like your soul is holding its breath as you step out, but you still pursue as he moves along just on the outside of what is the safety of the domain. It's not a bubble or a dome. It has a border that you can see, and yet he stays just outside of it. But you follow. We'll get back to you. I want to go back to Vera. You just heard a phone call about what might be going on. How do you react?
She just squints her eyes at Caval and gets right up into his grill. Just to the point where her body is not pressed against his, and like scrunches her nose up at him. What's going on?
My gaze goes from face to nose to chest to
Mm-hmm.
eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, well, mm, I'm sorry, what was the question?
What's going on with that phone call?
Oh, that. Yes, I actually got to handle that. I try to call
Mm-hmm.
Ariel.
You
Do I have to
you
use like
didn't.
the cell phone, or do I have like do I cast a magic spell? Like, how do I try to contact him?
No. Someone called you, and it wasn't Ariel. Who called you?
Oh, no. Sorry, I was talking to the game master. It was like,
Oh
Oh,
no,
okay.
how do I contact Ariel? Do I know how to do that?
yeah, well, maybe, I mean, imagine somebody around here might have access. If there's any, Defiant typically carry cell phones. Um, Ariel they seem particularly out there. They might not even have a phone, not for any reason other than that being their character when they're on this mission, or as well, they were just performing a play. It might be hard to reach them. I don't know.
Well, I try to reach them anyway.
Yeah.
Hang on. See if I can handle this. The answer?
Now, Ariel, do you have a phone on you?
You muted.
You're muted. You notice the Pope is acting strange as you make this call, but go ahead.
It's not on me. I was on stage.
Yeah, a pedestal nearby begins to vibrate.
All right, I tried to call Dazen.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna like peer into the phone to like see who you're calling. Do I see the screen as you? Does it just straight up say Dazen on it?
I'm not particularly. What does Dazen look like?
um,
It doesn't matter.
that I
He's
don't know.
Puff the
I know
Magic Dragon.
currently. Yeah, no, and that's
His assistant is
perfect.
Puff the Magic Dragon.
He would fully appreciate that. And then again, you're 2 for 2. A phone buzzes on the asphalt right next to the gateway to what mortals would probably mistake for hell, the edge of the carnival. It crashed when his motorcycle slipped. He made way. You imagine he's dedicated to the job. There's nothing he wants more than a payout.
Right. All right. In that case, has the car come around yet? Seems to be taking a while.
Yeah. It was a bit delayed,
It
but
has?
she'll arrive. With the yeah. What do you
Okay.
drive?
Oh, it's a Rolls Royce. An old
Yeah.
one.
Mm-hmm.
Probably something that gets like less than 20 miles to the gallon, but somehow it never ends out of
Fitting.
fuel.
Mm.
So at that point, I turn back to Vera while we wait for that to happen, and I'm like, all right, so where should we begin?
Sounds like we're going back to your place, where you've eaten Dazen,
As a
right?
matter of fact. Yes, I am.
Ah.
Where he should have gone immediately, and now I don't know where he is, so I am a little put out.
So
I can't get a hold
Vera,
of Ariel either.
So Vera, having the moniker of clever, and is figuring this out, is just sort of like pulls out her phone and is gonna call Dazen. who it might be busy, but might answer for his BF. We don't know.
Yeah. Again, the cell phone cracked, buzzing alongside a motorcycle that's crashed. It's already too far to be anyone's business. But take it back over there. Ariel, you're relentless in your pursuit. Your opponent is incredibly fast. Were it not for the cargo that he's hauling, he probably would have been out of sight by now. But you're starting to feel it go black. It's fading. You don't think you have a lot of time. Maybe once you sever a connection, maybe there's a snap and you can be here, but you don't want to be here long enough to find out what else is lurking. But you're getting dizzy. What do you do?
You muted.
You're muted.
You are muted.
Sorry. I'm just gonna call out in my the booming stage voice of my dark form. I'm gonna say, we both know we can't last forever out here. Let's talk this over like civilized people. And then I'm gonna make a show of turning around and heading back to that crashed motorcycle. And basically going to, if I can get back, come through and really land and take control of that scene of the motorcycle, find anything that is identifying information about them. It looks like a nice piece of equipment, so maybe just completely take it as well. Although it's disabled at the moment, but
yeah, it is.
That's what I'll do.
What's not disabled is his phone that's ringing, buzzing. Vera is trying to call this person who has kidnapped this woman.
I want to say that her name in his phone says "Baby Mama."
All right. So Ariel, I want you to try to piece together what that must mean. Does that mean Vera knows the person that kidnapped this woman? Was this an operation?
Well, he doesn't know.
Was
Unless
this a
he answers
job?
the
I don't
phone,
know.
he's not gonna know that it's Vera, because it's baby
A
mama
picture.
that shows up on the screen. Mm-hmm.
I'll defer it to Dazen,
I-
though. Is there a picture of the contact on the phone?
Something that's not safe for work, but yeah.
Okay.
She does have a remarkable naked body, but it's from like here
That's right.
down that it's on the phone.
Yeah, there's no, he might use context clues, but like, hey, that tail looks familiar.
Yeah, does it have the dinosaur legs in it?
I know that ass anywhere, you know?
Yeah, I mean, she also just like even on like her paler parts of her skin will have like has like mocha stripes, like just kind of like down her arms, like this her back and stuff. So it's
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, and when do you answer the phone that's ringing, Ariel?
Yeah.
What the
I
fuck?
Hello, baby mama.
Did he call you baby mama?
Like
That's how you're saved in this phone.
Well, apparently I'm not
There
the
we
only
go.
one who has something to explain around here.
Whoever's phone
I
this
have
is.
not made any babies. Ariel?
If you're in on it too, then we are going to have a big problem.
In on what? I'm just calling my friend to see how they're doing. They stood me up at your show.
They stood you up by running outside of the bubble.
Hmm. What
So
the
I
fuck?
can't vouch for them anymore.
Wait. Did he say that someone left the carnival?
Yeah, and I'm gonna look at Caval because I know that you also tried to talk to Dazen, and I'll be like,
Mm.
do you just want to meet us at Caval's house? He has a lot to
Why?
explain.
Why Caval's house?
Because I'm telling you to. Because I'm
Please,
telling you
Ariel.
to, Ariel. In fact, do you want? Just hand me that phone. Hand me that phone. Give me that phone.
This is my
You know,
phone.
like,
Don't you touch
Ariel-
it. I'm gonna like.
I look. Just gonna talk to him. I'm not gonna scroll through your browser history as much as I want to.
I'm gonna put him on speaker. Go ahead.
That's fine. Ariel, what happened? What are you doing?
That's my question. No, someone was kidnapped from my show, and now you two are on the
Right, but what's
kidnapper's
this- but
phone.
what's-
What is
Right.
going on?
All right, did I hear you right? Did he leave the carnival?
Yes, he left the carnival. I'm waiting here for him to come back to reclaim his.
Did he
Very
have
nice
the woman
motorcycle.
with him?
Yes.
Oh, that's not acceptable at all. What? Oh, what? Why did he do that?
Is this a game to you?
Yes.
I'll see you at your place.
Good. You better.
Boop.
Fuck. Oh my.
Now you
Eh.
you hear something, Ariel. The motorcycle. It starts to hum again.
This
It
one.
corrects itself. You see, yeah, it starts to shake. Its weight. You can feel ships from within. This is an expensive piece of machinery. The adjustment, it stands itself back up
I want hands on it.
before. Yeah.
Yeah. And I take the stick that I threw through it out. Pull the skewer out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of just like hold it, like along my arm. And I'm gonna straddle
Yeah.
the motorcycle if it's going somewhere.
It sounds like a small dragon coming through a surprisingly shitty speaker. What is your destination? It backs up. Everything has an unreal flair to it. This thing is trying so hard to be the coolest thing you've ever ridden. But what do you do?
Can you take me to your master?
It hums for a second. There's a long pause. And then suddenly a shift in the voice, some other circuit taking over. Acceleration in 3. And
Oh,
then
shit.
before the countdown can begin, it quits, giving you only about a second and a half. Halfway through the 2, it speeds forth. It's headed straight down that road towards somewhere. You're not towards the outskirts. You're headed back through downtown Folkestone, past Theater Row, past the burlesque show, headed towards the hills. Inland, you've had a nice night drive this summer. Caval, are you driving already?
Am I driving? Well, it depends. As the car arrived.
Oh yeah, it's
so
arrived.
If it hasn't,
Yeah.
I am
There you go.
not going to be very happy. Okay, yes. In that case, we are we are not. I am not driving. We are being driven.
Yes.
And on the way there, as we're going in there, I was like, all right, so this is, you probably have a lot of questions, so feel free to start with
So
any
just,
of them.
how about
Mhm.
why did you kidnap the lady, and why did you have Danzin do it, and why did you not tell Ariel?
In that order, it's a game because I believed foolishly that he could handle it, and because he walked away before I could explain it to him. Because I didn't know exactly when it was going to happen.
What's the game?
How long have we known each other? You know what the game is.
Explain it to me like I just came out of my mother's vagina.
It's a scene, dear.
So you're just putting on theatrics. Are you trying to show up the angel?
No, I wasn't trying to show up the angel. I was trying to. The mortal wanted to get off.
Why do you want that one in particular?
She's a member of the court. She's not some random mortal. She's a member of the court.
Which one?
She comes up to me. Her name is
Which court?
Which court? Mine.
She's a part of your... This is just even more confusing.
Yes.
Why would you kidnap someone from your own court?
Because she looks at me and she says, what would really turn me on is, a sexy kidnapping scene, where someone comes in at the last moment. And, I think she had seen the movie Manhunter or something. I'm supposed to come in at the last moment and beat up Dazen, rescue her, and then how that was good. What is so funny?
This is why you have to leave roleplay to actual professionals, okay? Like, Dan's great at a lot of things. You're great at a lot of things. Playing pretend is not it.
What are you talking about? I thought
that
I was
poor angel.
I don't know. Look, I really don't know what is going on. What I'm really concerned with is why Dazen ran out of the carnival. That was not part of the plan at all.
Well, hopefully
She remembered. That bag better not have fucking moved from her head, and she better be alive. Otherwise, someone's going to owe me more than I offered to pay them.
Wow.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Y'all are absolutely precious.
Yeah.
And just gets really southern for a second. Bless your heart.
Don't you take that tone with me. Besides, we're supposed to be throwing a surprise party for Ariel due to the success of his whatever he's doing.
So there's a party at the end of this car ride. I am excited.
Yes, of course.
Of
course. How was it going to end?
Now
how was it going to get in any other way?
Mm-hmm.
Who then will arrive at Caval's first? Dazen is taking an indirect route. It might be Ariel first. Midway through the conversation, you get that flash of red light. Causes a shake in this car. To the concern of the woman driving it. But it's just gone in a blur. Straight towards your holding. Ariel, I'll ask, is there anything you do when you arrive here?
Do I know
The motorcycle
it's
will
Cabal?
take you... I'd say yes. There's only so many Defiant in a giving holding, so like, or a domain. So yeah, you would guess it's his. But more peculiar is that the gates do open for that vehicle. It seems you need to be whitelisted in order to gain access to this estate, and whatever reason they saw you, they saw the bike and decided let him in. But it won't be a few minutes until either of your friends or who you're seeking will arrive. Is there anything you do, or do you just wait?
Does anyone come out to greet me or anything?
Well, there's so much going on that they don't. They imagine you're just attending the party. There's a... actually, I'll let the owner of this holding describe the arrangement here. What does your place look like on this summer night?
This is what it looks like. The building itself is a sort of bizarre combination of your standard McMansion, but a person has obviously decided that remodeling is in order. But this means that there is scaffolding on one side of the building where they appear to be putting up something that you can only describe as the lost Aztec Temple of Mars. You have no idea what any of the symbols on the side of the building mean. You have no idea why the figures have 4 arms, nor why there is a statue of a naked 4-armed woman belly dancing that's been turned into a fountain. Absolutely no idea. Inside, obviously, there is a lot of activity. You know, people are enjoying themselves or are about to.
Yeah.
I am assuming that you recognize this as my hold. And that's basically what you see coming up. There are probably a few people outside in various states of intoxication. Someone who probably you have already met when you come in will probably roll up on you really easily. Because I am always trying to get you to...
Yeah, I mean, I'm on the motorcycle. It comes into the grounds, right?
Right, yeah. Moving along the fountain that, yeah, sort of sets this strange chambered nautilus of a mansion dropped in the middle of what was once the backwater town of Falkenstone. But it's really quite a sight. Do you get off this motorcycle?
I do.
Right. It isn't long as you're sort of just getting your bearings and reacquainting yourself with everything. You see, actually, I'll ask Dazen. What's your approach here? Because you know where you're supposed to go. Do you waltz in through the front gate?
No.
Okay.
I take it he knows the plan, so he will kind of come to the back and set the stage for Koval.
Mm-hmm. Well, this plan would be going off without a hitch, if not for the angel the hero from the sky coming to rescue this woman who wants nothing more than to not be rescued right now. Ariel, the motorcycle led you here to its owner. You imagine Dazen is here. And I believe you're still convinced that she is somehow a damsel in distress in this situation. Are you headed in to try to rescue her?
I know something is afoot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is yet, but I know that Caval is and Viera are somehow connected to this, and so I'm going to find a member of the staff and accost them, basically, and in my dark, alluring aura, I'm just going to demand that they to see the master of the house.
First shock, frustration, irritation. You get the rotation of emotions as these service workers try to piece together your request, but suddenly it's all moot as the gates, computer activated, they open to reveal the luxury vehicle moving up this hill to be let out. The owner of this fine establishment has arrived in perfect timing. And they'll simply point.
I help
do you
Vera
two do
out
as you
of
arrive?
the car if she wishes to be helped out. If she wishes to be independent about it, then that is also fine.
As we move into this
Vera.
encounter, actually, I want to ask,
Muted.
what are you each wearing?
Oh, me? Oh, I'm
All of you.
something quite subtle. A golden trimmed fuchsia suit. You know, nothing too ostentatious.
Yeah, and Vera's wearing a dark purple, shimmery, flowy kimono type sleeve dress, like or dolman type sleeve dress. She wears mostly dresses in her life just because it is hard to make pants for a badonkadonk her size with that tail. So but it's about mid thigh length. So she gets out like a lady.
I look at her ass
Excellent.
very unlike a gentleman.
Mm-hmm.
It's a tale. Quite a tale.
I start doing
Ariel.
I start doing calculations on measurements and dimensions in my infernal mind so that I can get the exact statistics.
I turn around and I look, and she goes, 45, 36, 54. Thank you.
I love it when you tell me like that. It's always been good.
I'm not shy.
No,
your house?
you're not. Please. Oh, and there's Ariel. Ariel, how are you?
Caval,
Yes. You
what's the
really
game?
shouldn't run off without your cell. I could have explained it
Who
to
needs?
you had you waited just another moment before running off. Oh, the game is
Well,
quite simple and is you, are you accosting one of the girls? You know how I feel about that.
am I accosting anyone except the person who kidnapped someone out of the middle of my show?
Yes.
Who's your
Who's
your lackey?
You who's my lackey? Well, that
Adorable.
is one of the women that lives at my house, in my mansion, in my holding, if you do not mind.
No, the Leviathan with
Apologize.
the sweet bike.
Dazen? You don't know Dazen? Okay, obviously you don't.
You got
So-
some street rat criminal to come do your business for you?
Street rat. Oh, come now.
Dazon's gonna
Gary,
rip the wall off the house.
Yeah. Get off. So like, oh, get off that high horse. You could have a nasty fall. You know. No. We've talked about this. Talked about this, Ariel. You know, you don't get to talk to a Leviathan as if they're some sort of lesser creature just because they are a little more brutish than most. They have not only their uses, but their strengths and the beauties. Come on, please.
He's very useful, yes.
Apparently.
You know, although I do want to ask a question. What's this about him leaving the boundary?
I chased him. He left.
And he
It's fast.
Why did he leave the boundary?
You'll have to ask him.
Well,
if he
all
makes
right
it back.
then. If he makes it back, he better make it back. What happened?
I left him.
This silence is not filling me with confidence, Ariel. What happened?
I left him out there.
You left him out there? Did he come back?
How am I supposed to know?
I don't know. Using your eyes, damn it.
Try calling him. Oh, wait. I hold up the cracked
Wait,
phone.
you have his phone apparently, so I can't.
You hear a
I'm
knock.
not a babysitter, okay? Look,
No,
On the
apparently, but you need one. Okay, all right.
Tap, 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 tap. Between the window panes, small tiles of glass, a knuckle rapping on one to gain your attention from within the building. It would be the man of the hour, the person of interest, the Dazen. Just looking at you.
Would you mind standing out here for just one moment? I would
Both of us, or just
really
him?
appreciate it.
Or just them?
In the efforts of politeness, I believe it should be both of you. If you don't mind.
Okay.
by all
I'll
means.
wait out here with Ariel.
Wonderful. I head right to Dazen.
Before he goes, like, as he's going in, I'm gonna look over at Ariel and be like, I honestly just found out about it, like, probably as soon as you did, so. I told him this is why you leave theatrics to professionals.
All right, does anything stop me from approaching Dazen? I assume not.
No, I would be very sorry for anyone or anything that did.
I come in and I am like, Dazen, I'm going to ask you one question, and it is incredibly important that I am happy with the answer. Is she alive?
Dazen takes off his helmet. Well, shit. No, am I running? I forgot to check. I'll pull off her hood. Yeah, she looks alive.
Out of the mouth, tears in her eyes, brows wide.
Take her
Just
to
look
the
of shock.
chamber. Take her to the chamber, and I want to speak to you afterwards.
He'll grab her by the back, like by the bindings of the back of her hand, lifting her up, and he's like, "This is gonna cost you extra. As he just kind of stares him down, he's like, "Remember, Caval, you don't give me orders. I'm here to do a job, and the job is here."
Oh. Oh, yes. But sloppy workmanship is another thing.
I'm sorry, I was
I'm gonna want
entertaining your
explanation.
guest of the hour.
Oh, don't. We will discuss this in a moment.
Ooh.
I'm going to let the others in. By the way, Vera is here. Just to let you know.
When he says fear, he's just like, "Have one of your people bring me a new pair of pants. I don't want her seeing me like this."
You don't want.
If you look down from like the knee down, his pants are like torn off.
She's a primordial goddess from a time from the land that time forgot. I don't think she is going to mind that your pants are ripped. In fact, that might actually
Caval,
make you go up in her estimation.
she's a primordial goddess from the land that time forgot.
Mm-hmm.
She must be worshipped. He'll kind of drag the body back into the house down to the chamber.
Yeah, and I just sort of like, as I go back to let them all know to come in, I'm just sort of like, being a little snitty about it. I come in, and I'm like, all right. Don't worry, everything is fine. Nothing. The worst did not happen. Everyone is alive. I am quite happy about it. I do have to admit, though, Ariel, I have had a bit more excitement tonight than I was expecting.
The feeling is mutual. Ariel has
Good.
shifted into the more noble form, the white wings, the brightness. There's a bit of levity and almost innocence to him. He's holding a drink. He's taken a drink from someone as this party is getting prepped.
Yeah, it's like, please.
What did you think of the show?
Now, you remember I told you what I thought of the show. I really loved the beginning, but I got lost near the middle. I like the beginning with the lights and the inhuman forms and the sensuality. But then we wandered into a territory that I wasn't quite sure what you were getting at.
Yes, the thinking part of it.
Yes, the thinking part of it. As I've said, don't let there be so much. Don't let the story get into the way of that show. Too much plot.
Noted.
Should always just be enough.
I'll tell the playwright.
Yes, who was the playwright?
It would be you. I think you'd love to meet him someday.
Well, I think he should at least be invited to the party. I mean,
yes.
Is he here?
Yes.
Oh, good.
I'm sure he's
Good.
here,
Wonderful.
enjoying himself.
Oh, wonderful. Good. You know, it's not a bad show. I just,
It's okay.
By the way,
no problem. Everyone has their critics.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Areshkul is, my wife. I'm sure she would love to talk to you at some point. You have not spoken to her in a while. I know you've been busy, but you know how she is. She likes hearing from her little cousin. And I like to make her happy.
Sure.
Good.
You like to make everyone happy, Kaval. It's a
I like to make as
difficult
many
balancing
people happy
act.
as possible. It is. And sometimes things happen that I wish didn't. Do me a favor. In the future, keep your cell phone on you. It's hard to communicate and maintain the circus if you don't.
Do me a favor. And in the future, don't mess with my show. Whether I keep my phone on me and you can reach me or not is not a concern of mine in the slightest.
Well, it should be. It should be. I could have told you everything that was going on had I been able to reach you.
That doesn't change what happened.
No, I wouldn't.
Do you understand that there's an entire audience of people out of which one person was snatched? And hopefully I covered for them, but the magic of the show is delicate and could have been ruined. Everything that could have been worked there, ruined.
Ruined? A woman was kidnapped at the end of your show. How is that ruined? That's the sort of press that one cannot buy.
It's not about the press. It's about the artistry, the feeling.
Which
People
means
walk
nothing
away.
if no one sees it.
You know, Ism,
Ism?
Dazen, is he here? I have a phone.
Oh, Dazen. Oh, Dezen. Oh, yes, he's here. He's here.
I can go take it to him if you'd like.
I'd love a word with him myself.
Okay, wait for
I'll
him
get
to
him for
approach you, though. Wait for him to approach you, though. I wouldn't want another thing going wrong. It's a very delicate scenario that has been crafted. I would not like to add any more complications. I think there has been enough unexpected excitement on that level. Which, I mean, actually, when I think about it, I probably actually should be thanking you for. Yeah, have fun, carouse, mingle. Find yourself a. What do you like?
Another one of these.
Another one of these for the man.
Vera's still waiting for the phone, by the way. Like, just offering. I know his stench anywhere, so I'll be able to find him and return it to him.
I'll hold on to it until...
No. We'll let
There's
them
like a
we'll
sigh.
let them handle it then. Vera, let's let them
Vera, I'll
handle
ask
it then.
them.
They can have their
Your
who said
performers
that?
are here for the party, Vera. You know where they are, and I imagine you know where Dazen is. By scent alone. You don't know if Dazen and Ariel are the type of people that would mesh well. So them meeting might be a catalyst or a soured night. You could take this opportunity to speak with Dazen before shit hits the fan.
Yeah. That's why I wanted to take the phone to have an excuse to go back there. But you know what? Let's go find my boy as he's changing into new pants.
Set the scene, Nathan.
So as she is following his scent, when she comes to a hall, the scent gets stronger, but is no longer in front of her as she hears his voice from behind her. Like really hot and breathy on the back of her neck. Your lips look lonely. Would they like to meet mine?
It's in character. She's gonna turn around and ball up her fist and punch him in the shoulder. I mean, like, you are a fucking idiot. If you were going to play this, why was I not in on this? Why was I left in the dark? I could have done something better. Are you okay? I heard you went out the bubble.
Oh, right. Angel. I'm fine. And it was a job. It was supposed to just be a simple snatch and grab, you know. Somebody got the rocks off on getting forced into a hood with bondage, you know, the usual. But
For
then,
this house, anyway.
imagine my surprise when I look over my shoulder and I see an angel following me.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, job got done either way.
So, I saw my dancers pass by. Which means my parents might be here.
Oh, don't say that.
Yeah.
That's no fair at all.
I know. Because I didn't hire them to come here. Like I said, I knew nothing. But also,
Don't.
the angel has your
Whatever you're about to
angel?
say.
It's going to be completely different. The angel has your phone. And he wants to have a conversation with you. Listen. Be nice. He's like straight down from heaven, kind of. This. Just. Whenever you want to say something stupid, breathe in, breathe out, and think of the love of your life. Your spouse. And she says that with a grin on her face.
I'll just kind of like look straight at her. You know, he's not the sharpest marble in the bunch. Wait. You know, euphemisms.
There is like a long sigh that comes out from her, and she's just like, it is a really good thing that all three of you are pretty.
As she says that, he'll kind of get closer to her. He's like, "Am I just pretty?" It's like his nose is just touching on hers as he flicks his tongue out across her upper lip. Just pretty.
Just pretty. And she will, her tail will slap his ass as she backs away from him, and beckons for him to follow back into the main hall.
So he'll just kind of say to himself, just pretty. Before following her.
Hmm. So the question is, what do we do tonight? What's this celebration? Actually, I'll start with Ariel,
Mhm.
because you're going to probably shape a lot of what happens next. I think each of you are looking for someone else tonight. Ariel, who are you looking for?
I have two types of people I'm looking for right now. The first one is there anyone who came to the play here at the party?
There are some guests. You've noticed, yeah. Not a lot. They seem still entranced in a way by the performance. Captivated. You take it as a compliment, had they not seemed a bit delirious.
How are they doing? Are they extra is there something wrong with them?
No, they just seem dizzy. Just a bit disoriented.
We'll have to fine tune that show, I guess. And I'm looking for Dazen.
Well, if you find Vera, you find Dazen. Vera, I take it you're not making an attempt to be subtle in this party?
Actually, a little bit more subtle than normal, knowing that some of her house members are here, because if her parents are here, other people could be here. Her dancers are here. So she is making it a point to sort of stay away from anyone she knows other than Dazen or Caval if she sees Caval, but also knows that Dazen needs his phone back. So if she notices Ariel looking around, there might be like a pause where she stops and like elbows Dazen in their ribs and just do a subtle nod over to Ariel.
Dazen, would you be inclined to meet Ariel? Are you trying to avoid them at this point?
When she like elbows him in the ribs, like he'll kind of like grab her by the back of her pants and like pull her towards him as he whispers in her ear, he's like,
Dress.
"I'll buy a new." Oh, sorry, buy her dress, and he'll be like, "I'll buy a new phone."
Mm-mm. She's gonna whistle over at Ariel because she wants to see this.
As like a waiter walks by and he's like, "Oh, I'll take that."
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, and as an opportunity for Dazen, Caval, are you using this as your chance to follow up on the job that had gone about as wrong as a job like that could go? You have a guest in the dungeon who broke standards.
Are you asking if I shall attend to the? Shall I attend to the sub? Are you asking if I shall attend to the sub, or if I'm going to make sure that these two don't kill each other?
Yeah, so I mean, you do see both. There are both things, and they're probably both interesting for you. And you're holding your job is messy if you're not careful. You don't need this being a public ordeal. You don't need enforcers seeking out kidnappers, which means that when you establish this job, the stipulation is you don't find yourself in public at the given time. You find a place to be taken. It's all contained.
Yeah.
So why in hell did you choose the middle of a theater production as the spot? That's the question.
Oh,
Dazen isn't given a spot. She's given a time, But then the place is up to the prey in that instance. Go where you please, don't go in public and make a scene. Don't tarnish the reputation of the
Oh.
Defiant or upholding this.
That case, we go to the basement and we have a little conversation.
Now, Dazen, that's the opportunity for you. Ariel has found your attention, has found you. Vera pointed you out in the crowd, but you know where Caval's dungeon is, and you know that's where he's headed. You have a chance to confront either of them, if you would like.
Dazen will he'll kind of like just disappear following Caval. Having a different kind of meeting in his mind. Oh, he's not trying to be subtle to follow you. Just trying to disengage from Ariel.
In that case, I will turn around and confront you.
Oh, great.
Dazen, whose idea was it to do that at the end of a public performance as the house lights went up?
Well, do you want to do this here? In front of all these people?
It's my house. It's my house.
Right.
They'll see what I want to see.
Oh, fine, so be it then. Because I had other business prospects to talk to you about, but if you want to go like this...
No, I would rather deal with this. Yes. Whose idea was it?
Hers. I just receive information. Where to pick them up, what time to be there.
It was her idea. That's interesting.
Caval.
You're not lying to me, because I don't like to be lied to.
Think to yourself, what reason do I have to lie?
Oh, that's not the question. The question is...
This is my business, Caval. This is what I do for a living.
So you swear that she's the one that chose the time and place?
He's like takes a deep breath trying to collect himself because you could probably feel the tension gathering around him. On House Haddad, I swear that I was only following the orders of the pickup location and time.
All right. I'll be back in a moment. If you run into Vera, tell her where I am.
Dazen will grasp his hand before he turns all the way around, and he places something in his palm and closes his Caval's fingers around it. He's like, while you're in the dungeon, place that between your molars and bite down. Inhale deeply, and then come and find me.
All right. So just to be clear, are you telling me how to do drugs, or is this something else?
That's a new one.
Oh, this is a new one.
Yes.
Oh.
And he'll get real close to Caval's ear. And if you like it, I have plenty more. And I do think that you'll like it. And as he pulls back, he'll just kiss his cheek slightly. Enjoy the gift.
I hope I will. I put that away for the moment. Unfortunately, there's business to attend to. So I entered the dungeon.
Okay. Before we confront Marlene, who paid a lot of money for that, which threatened the reputation of the Defiant and the respective holdings. Ariel, Vera, how would you act if you saw your betrothed attending this party alongside parents of interest, people invested in a future it seems you couldn't care about?
Breathe in, breathe out, hide.
Ariel, how do they react to that?
To Vera hiding.
Mm-hmm.
Just gonna
So
use your
I'm gonna
body to
spend.
stand behind.
I'm gonna spend a shard, and I'm gonna ask, what breach is there in Vera's defenses?
Ooh. That's a great question to ask as you spend a shard. I'll let Vera answer.
Can I just have a little bit more context to the question so that I can properly answer it? Like, what is your goal?
This comes from the Aegis aspect of Ariel, and they are essentially picking up on your tension and going into protector mode. So not knowing actually what makes you tense, they feel you sort of moving in that manner that suggests that there's a threat. And so they instantly turn into this. It's a party, so they don't go into like a martial stance or anything, but they instantly stiffen as well, kind of mirroring your stiffness and providing cover for you somehow.
So essentially, what you get from her then is she saw her fiance in the crowd having a conversation, probably with somebody important. They are a trans mask person with very to the Defiant, which we all are here. They seem to be I don't know if y'all know what an Archaeopteryx is, but it's one of the fossils that connected birds to dinosaurs. So they're a bit, I guess, younger in their primordialness than my family is. But he is the head of a different Deva house. And I want to avoid a conversation with this person at all cost. That's what you get.
Ariel will whisper or just mutter to you, shall we take a walk, or do you need me to get in the way?
A walk would be nice.
Sticks out their elbow and as sort of turns back to the party and heads toward what I assume is some sort of there must be some sort of secluded outdoor garden at Caval's place.
Oh yeah,
that we can escape to, some sort of hedges and such, and just to get thoroughly worked our way into there, and being in only half present in sort of sentinel mode of keeping an ear out for approaching people as we move into this place.
Yeah. You'll move somewhere quietly to talk. Dazen, you didn't move with Caval to the basement, did you?
No.
Yeah, I would have liked to have done this alone.
Okay. Yeah, and so alone, what is it that you're doing alone? As you make your
The
way
first thing
down.
that happens as I make my way in, what's her name again?
Marlene.
It was Marlene. Thank you. It was Marlene. For the first few minutes, it seems like I'm just playing into the scene. But before you know it, he just point blankly asks the question, and why did you choose such a public moment to have it done, Marlene?
Down to the mouth. Is she given a chance to speak?
Yeah, she is totally given a chance to speak.
Yeah. Immediately cackling, her eyes they cross and they'll drift around. Her pupils seem to be rotating. In a state of pure euphoria, confusion, a mortal, elevated to this. It's probably not safe for them. They can't comprehend this level of extension of the mind. She's delirious and in a fit. Absolute pleasure at what she's seen. It looked like she had been screaming, but in fact she was laughing. The makeup is caked along her cheeks, from tears dried by sheer headwind. As Dazen ran her over here, given a chance, she would take deep breaths to catch up, and laugh. Or looking you, her eyes finally settle. What and the emotion drains from her. That joy, it starts to wear, becomes robotic. What I saw was beautiful. He took me out there. I saw it. You're realizing she's seen beyond the carnival. Yeah, it was beautiful. What they gave me, it showed me the world. They told me, visit the theater.
Who told you that?
Take communion. You can't tell.
Marlene?
I can't tell.
Can or won't?
I can't tell.
Can or
She's bound
won't?
at the hands. I mustn't tell, sir. She sort of looks up at you, an expression of pity. What do you do?
I am starting to get very angry.
They said it was, sir, they said it was important you don't tell certain people what you see, but what I saw was beautiful. They said it's dangerous. I don't think it's dangerous. I think it's wonderful. You should see it. Have you seen it?
Oh,
I can't.
you.
I can't. I'll be in deep trouble, sir.
You're in deep trouble now. Right now,
A look of
what is keeping you alive is my pleasure, and I am getting extremely displeased, and I do not mean in some sort of fun bondage way. I am extremely unhappy. Do you understand what unhappiness is, Marlene? Then you will tell me
You've seen it.
who told you.
You've seen it then. How do you know?
Yes.
Why would you
That
see
I'll
it?
tell you when you tell me who told you.
Yeah.
I have let you in my house. I have offered you a place here, and now you are keeping secrets that I cannot abide you keep.
The angels provide communion, the theater. That's where it's from. They told me not to tell.
Who's they?
Angels.
Yes, 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 there are angels. Angels exist. But who told you?
You were there. I mustn't tell.
Yes. You better. You're breaking my heart right now.
I can't say a name. I mustn't say a name. The angel from the theater.
Which one? Oh, I'm sorry. Did you think that there was only one? Did you think that there were not a multitude of us who know and see? I need to know, Marlene, whether I should be angry with you or
The one that came
pity
to my
you.
rescue.
What about him? He's the one who told you?
I won't say more. She'll move to pull the gag back over her mouth, and she'll back away from you out of fear.
No, I just pull it out. I just pull it out. I'm like, no, 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 no. You tell me, or you do not leave this room.
The performance. It was the performance.
What do you mean?
They said it would open our eyes.
Tell me.
We saw things.
What did you
It
see?
broke a curtain. We saw beyond the veil. We saw things. A performance, but then it was taken.
Why did you tell him, the man who took you, why did you want to be taken then and in that place?
Someone, I don't know who. They kept telling me not to be alone. I mustn't be alone. I shouldn't be alone. It was a threat. I didn't know what to do. I stayed in public.
Why didn't you tell? When did this happen? Why didn't you tell me?
This morning.
This morning?
Calls. They wouldn't stop. They told me if I were alone, they would kill me. That they would find me, they would hunt me. I had to stay seen. I had to stay present.
In that case, I spend a shard to
Yeah.
ask the question, who is holding this power over them?
See, that is the right kind of question to be asking. The holding, it seems, in some way, is the cause of this. All signs
My holding?
point back to Ariel's, the theater. She's given communion. It was
Ariel's
the
holding
wafer. It had a subtle effect as a hallucinogen. It allowed the audience to see a vivid performance. She claims that this is tied to that, and then it allowed her to see through a veil of sorts. Your understanding of the carnival implies that something's being weakened. The opacity tinkered with. It's allowing the mortals to see through in a way. Beyond, that's a dangerous game to play.
Yeah.
With mortals.
Marlene, who gave it to you? Who showed you? Please tell me.
Hope.
Hope told you.
Hope gave it to me. Communion.
I will accept that as an answer for now. Would you prefer that I left you tied up here, or would you like a more comfortable room?
It's cold and dark. Here. That should do.
All right, then. Don't worry, Marlene. Everything will be fine. I'm not mad at you. Not really. Do you understand?
She nods.
Good girl. Good girl. Yeah, I tie her up, but make sure, I like, not like for real, but like for scene real. And then I leave the dungeon and I look for Ariel.
All right. Yeah. While you're searching for them, I'll ask Dazen, what have you been doing to occupy the time here? It seems everyone's gone their separate ways. Yeah.
At this point,
Vera's
probably like a bottle and a half in.
Yeah. Do you avoid? Do you stay clear of Vera's fiance or their family?
No, he does not. Dazen is very much of a Leviathan of House Haddad, and they follow the moniker of be the toughest motherfucker in the room. So he kind of zeroes in on his fiance, and he makes a show of it. He has the where is it? He radiates dominance, and his legacy of everywhere he leaves is chaos. So
right.
The courtiers have been instructed that when Dazen is doing his thing, that they should do their best version of the Three Blondes from Beauty and the Beast, as if he's Gaston. Just to make him, like, feel appreciated.
So, as he's walking, as he passes by the first person, like if you think of it as like a movie view, the first person passes by his view, and something subtly changes of his form. You see his draconic horns, and they curve back from his forehead and slightly upwards from the back of his head. Second person passes in front of him, and you see patches of white scales all over his face. Third person walks in front of him as he's coming to stand in front of Vera's fiance, and he has draconic eyes. And he's clicking talons together as he's looking at them. The courtiers of Caval's house kind of coming up and trying to diffuse the situation as best as possible. Dathan just has one thing on his mind.
Oh, do you look like you're having a fight? You're about to start a fight?
He doesn't look like he's gonna start a fight, but he definitely looks like he has violence on his mind.
Oh, okay.
He's not at the point of getting ready. He's not getting ready to throw blows, but he's definitely on the way.
Yeah, they are probably trying to diffuse violence by assuaging your ego. They will say that, ooh, you look so strong.
This is why he comes to your house party.
So does he what I'm sorry. Does Dazen know his name or their name? I'm sorry.
Who's?
Vera's
fiance?
Fiance.
Oh, definitely. Their name is Skylark.
So as Dazen kind of comes into the same room, and that tension immediately like hits that boiling point between the two. Do you know why she's not here right now, Scholar?
Why's that?
It's because she can't stand the fucking sight of you. She can't stand being betrothed to the weak. You see, Viera needs power in her life. He drags a claw over his own thigh.
What Vera needs is comfort, safety, a life of excitement, sure, a roof over her head. Your holding hasn't even a roof. If she wanted to be a child of the street, she would have told you by now, wouldn't she?
But you see, the thing is, my holdings are the streets. And I allow you to dot my lands with your shoddy little shacks. Remember that.
Treading on mighty thin ice. I'll have you know your holding is the streets, because the streets were what was left when we took our Leviathan.
He'll get like right up against his face.
Yeah.
How about I bury you beneath these streets, Deva?
All right. Do it. Strike a blow. I'll preen myself. Come back to my family. They'll understand because they expect this from your kind. So do it. Dazen, do you choose violence?
I want you. He smiles to himself, almost as if he was expecting him to try to egg him on. He leans in and he's like, Skylar, I want you to look around this room one more time and tell me how many Leviathans of House Haddad you see in truth. Not just me. Not just one more, or two, or three. But 5 Leviathans of House Advad stand in this house right now. If you think that you would be able to walk back to your house, or even dragged, is laughable. We would kill your whole bloodline this night. Is that what you want? I'll strengthen this seal with your blood.
Val, you step in. This is what you're met with as you return to your party in your own home. You're muted.
Deza, Vera, Ariel, by the way, real quick. What is Vera
Look,
told?
Vera and Ariel, they're not
Cabal?
anywhere to be found. They've seemed to leave. Their absence is felt. They're not here. Vera's spouse-to-be is here, inches from Dazen's face. There is palpable tension. You can cut the inter-defiant conflict looming in the air with a knife. Yet no blows yet, but it's ruined
Okay.
a perfectly good party.
Does Vera like her betrothed, or does she just wish he would go away?
Your assumption is the latter.
What would Vera have told Cabal about this?
So, remember when she said her parents were being annoying?
Yeah.
It's probably the whole, like, we have arranged this for you.
Oh.
So, at the most, Vera's annoyed with it currently and would rather not deal with it head on yet. She has
Okay.
no idea that her boy is out here, like, squaring up, though.
Okay, I look at Dazen. I'm like, Dazen, don't kill the other guests. Skylar, just don't. Just do me a favor and don't. Second of all, where's Ariel?
You can ask the
Does
friend.
anyone know where Ariel is?
What?
It is vitally important that I speak to this person.
Ask the fucking losers from the theater. And you turn. You see in that strange garb, it forms a cordial silhouette. The colors, the patterns, nothing matches. Nothing makes sense. It's Pope. Some guests from the theater, and he's sort of locking hands, having a joyous occasion. We're gonna cut and come back when he locks eyes on you, but in a discreet courtyard, far away in your sprawling estate. Ariel, Vera, you have an opportunity to talk. What do you do?
Getting me out of there. Party was getting a little too crowded, you know what I mean?
Yes, there's a time for crowds and there's a time for quiet. Not someone you prefer to be around.
Not a responsibility I prefer to deal with right now. Especially not with my friend here at this party. They don't get along. I'm not anyone's mom,
Well,
despite what you saw on the phone.
it's always that difficult balance, isn't it, between one's commitments and one's passions.
That's a good way of putting it. But you, this is your party. You don't
Me,
have to
this
stay
is
here.
my party. I already threw
Did
a
I
party
ruin the
tonight.
surprise?
Yes, you did.
Don't tell
I've never had a
anyone.
surprise ruined for me before.
Oh, I'm a first for a lot of people.
It's an interesting feeling. Do you think Caval would be angry if there was violence here? Just a little bit.
Violence usually in someone's fun. Who do you want to get violent with?
It's no matter.
Mentioned it matters. Tell me. And
The-
she's gonna
the
look
theater.
up at him with the doughiest of eyes that someone has ever looked up at you with.
You're gonna have to make a challenge of it because I am
Ooh, yes.
resistant.
Please.
I'm unmoved by charm.
Mm.
Okay.
Oh.
I love it.
That's
I love
gonna
it.
how that's
I
gonna
love it.
work. Yeah, for the,
This is perfect. Okay.
yeah. What traits do you have that will help you here? Oh, you probably have so many.
Yeah, I have. Let me pull up my character sheet. I have so many. I have 3 monitors and a shit ton of tabs. Let's find them. Okay.
Yeah. No.
Here we go.
Mhm.
All right, here we go. So I cater to emotions. So I'm like, you don't just fight someone without feeling emotional about someone. So like I'm the god of emotion, right? I have mesmerizing eyes, and I'm looking up at them with these eyes.
Mm-hmm.
I appeal to people's personalities, perhaps.
Now, are we
And I don't know.
speaking to the Angel of Doubt right now? You've transformed, is that
No.
correct?
Yes,
No, you've not. Okay.
Mhm.
I have transformed back into the Angel of Passion.
Okay.
Got it. Yeah, so
And I don't know. Maybe my unique trait of really dangerous might apply.
yeah, the resistance to charm negates the advantage of your gaze. Appealing to the emotion and the personality of the angel, however, that might be a different story.
Mhm.
So those would count for 2. So I think you had 3 and then 1 back from his trait, counting as if it were an affliction for like an
Mhm.
opposed check. Do you spend a shard? Because you could.
No.
Okay.
So that's 2d8 and a d6, right?
Yes.
All right. She saves her shards for important ordeals. Okay, that is 1 8, 1 6, and 1 5.
An 8, a 6, and a 5.
I got a 6 on the d6,
Okay.
an 8 on an 8, and a 6 on an 8. Yeah.
Okay, so 3 successes. There's no consequence. It is. I mean, that's a success through and through. Ariel, I guess we'll take it from the perspective of effect instead of what's it? Yeah. So how do you feel?
Ariel is definitely referencing Dazen and committing an act of violence, but it's not. There doesn't seem to be a feeling of vengeance, but more an excitement and thrill still left over from the chase. This quickened pulse, the dilated pupils, a little bit of excitement about that interaction.
Yeah.
You know, I might be inclined to provide a space for that sort of violence if I get to watch.
Would that make you truly happy?
She thinks about it. It will make me less unhappy.
If that's the best I can do.
Well, let's go back inside and see if my friend consents.
Offers you the arm again.
Takes it and struts on back in.
You have a chance before Dazen and Caval see Pope. Before even you see Pope, he's off in a lounge. It would be an angle you can't catch. But you see Dazen. Is there anything you do right off the bat, Ariel?
I walk up to him. Are you still in draconic form?
Yeah, no, he's in draconic form, and he, at this point, while Caval was, talking to others, he is now crackling with electricity.
Ariel walks up to Dazen. And
Marty.
If Ariel is walking up to Dazen, I'll intercept him.
There's like this moment where Vera is watching Ariel walk up to Dazen and just like biting the bottom of her lip in anticipation, and then just the utter disappointment when Caval, you hear a "oh come on," like it's Caval intercepts.
Yeah, like I've interrupted her, like fucking busting a nut, like just like, oh, what?
Interrupted her
Yeah,
voyeurism.
Ariel, I just look at him like, we have got a problem.
one problem at a time, Caval, and Ariel will attempt to go around Caval.
I will try to stop him.
Yes, fully. Yeah, organically, I'm going to ask. Between the two of you, the angel and the infernal, this isn't a struggle between the houses. In a way, the essence really runs pretty deep. Will this escalate? I see one of you is trying to be the immovable object, and one of you is trying to be the unstoppable force. Ariel, do you try to stop? Or are you still set?
I just, one thing at a time, okay? One passion at a time is really all someone can focus on. So I attempt to go for it.
All right.
Well, this is
I
just as good.
attempt to stop him. and try to get through to him that what I am talking about is is a priority of the highest magnitude.
Yeah. Mobilize, you decking them, or are you grabbing?
I'm grabbing him.
All right. And with a pull, the crowd again is now pulled from the night. Yet again, there are just too many people agitated for any of this to be ignorable at this point. Vera, your family and your family to be are both, they're all uncomfortable with the situation. Everything that rises must converge when it comes to the Defiant. But you do notice the Pope has a crowd sort of forming around him, some of them on their knees. Patrons from the theater. Vera, you notice this because you're not swept up in this fight. And he's looking straight at you, rubbing his hands. Immortal, mind you. You can smell that. What do you do?
I'm saying to Ariel, no, we have way more important things right now.
I'm staring down this Pope, for sure. Intensely.
You'll kiss the woman's hand and move towards the front door, which isn't far from here. Over the sound of strings, you can't really hear what he's saying. Do you pursue?
As much as I want to see these boys go at it, I'm going to go around them. Almost as if this man is now my prey, and I will pursue. Intensely.
Yeah.
Not from the
outside.
Front, but from the sides.
Okay. Yeah, well, he makes his way out to the fountain. We will discuss Caval, Ariel, Dazen, and your betrothed, and how everything has gotten so tangled so fast. But the Pope stands by that fountain where the car and the motorcycle, where they initially were valeted away from, and he just stops and holds out a hand in front of his ear to listen. A wide smile. It's yellow, though. It's not befitting someone as young as he. He's emaciated. He's quite skinny. You can see that now as the wind blows. It'll catch a bit of his cloak, revealing a slim waistline. He sort of sways in the wind, but he's listening out. It's sort of a hum to match the sound of crickets. Do you approach him?
Yes, but like from my side, not from the front, but from the sides. Like very, very gingerly, like the way that she approaches, like you can't even hear her footsteps. It's just, she's a predator in this moment as she approaches him.
Yeah.
From around the Rolls Royce.
Do you hear it? He says. They're coming. They're coming. It worked. It all worked. They saw. See no evil. She saw. The Reavers are coming.
I would like to spin a shard. The what?
The Reavers are coming. That humming sound that drowns out the sound of crickets. It's the sound of a horde of sorts. In the dark, beyond the estate. It's dimly lit intentionally. It gives a serene aesthetic to the manor. You can see an inky black sheen making its way out of the tree line and around the glass. It's the reflection of a bald head, pure jet black, as if these creatures, ghouls almost, in their shape, like they were covered in ink, dipped, dripping with this like strange shadow as they're moving up on all fours towards the estate. He turns back to the manor. Oh, they saw the evil. Now they'll hear it. Now they'll hear it. Now they'll hear it. That's where I want to end it tonight, my friends. We pan out to the Holding the Manor. Beasts of the Apocalypse making their way in. Everyone has a bone to pick with somebody else, but that's our time for tonight. We will be picking up exactly where we left off next week, starting at the same time. But why don't we go around, talk about who you played, talk about where you can find you, and then your favorite revelation of the night, your favorite thread. Starting with Daniel.
Oh man. Hi guys, I was Daniel. I played Days in the Night. You can find me on Twitter at Salix314. Yeah. Also, come out and check me out on Penny for a Tale Twitch on Sunday. I will be playing Salix Lavendale in a Pathfinder game that we play every Sunday. It's getting kind of crazy, so definitely come check us out. My favorite part of the night, there was a lot. Literally, there was a lot. Each one of my cast members was like really great about role play, and it's hard to pin down one point. Probably the persistence of Ariel throughout the night, though. The persistence of I need to find Dazen and finish what the hell we started was probably the best.
I
It was great. I
I
love
ship
it.
it. All right, Jacob.
I'm Jacob. You can find me at Water Mosaic on Twitter, Instagram, Twitch. On Sunday night, I'll be doing, or Sunday afternoon Eastern time, I'll be doing a Wanderhome solo play. Wanderhome is a completely different theme of game. It's this lovely pastoral journey with cute animals. And my favorite part of this was just from my perspective as Ariel, the slow unraveling of Ariel, from outside of Ariel, watching the slow unraveling of the world that Ariel thinks he's affecting and seeing all the pieces that are coming into line. And I can't wait for the other shoe to drop next week.
Love a good cliffhanger. Jack.
Hi, I'm Count Jackula. I am here on Twitch where I stream every Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and also every Sunday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can also find me on Twitter at Jack Satanwave, as it says right there in the little name card. I'd love to see you on Twitter. I'd love to see you on Twitch. And you can also find me on YouTube. If you look up Count Jackula, you can see a bunch of my old videos. And occasionally we stream there on the off moment, and I would love to see you all there. And quick, let's get a shout out for everybody from the pit. Let's get a Hail Satan.
Hail Satan!
I think
Hail
my
Satan!
favorite part, Hail Satan, Hail Satan. You know, I think my favorite part was just the reveal that we were in deep shit. Just the
Yeah.
idea of like, you know, apocalypse ghouls are coming in, and it's like, oops, that
Yep.
I didn't need that to happen. Okay, it's good. Next episode's gonna be interesting. Tell you that.
Yep. That's a lot to clean up, for sure.
Oh yeah.
Val.
Hey everyone, my name is Valdranth. You can find me on the internet on Twitch and Twitter at Val. I produce TTRPGs for me and my friends. Before I get into that, I would like to say that my favorite part of the night was Danzen's wishful thinking with Baby Mama on his phone. Like, I was here for it.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna fertilize
That was
that.
a great reveal.
Um,
You're in there, boy.
Great review.
That was
also,
such a
just
good.
with everyone at
That was so great. That was just so great. I'm just still appreciating that plot element.
And also just everyone communicating behind the scenes. A big old star to y'all for making sure, because this is all very intense, and we're all here checking up on each other and stuff like that. And I love to see a cast check up with each other, because when we consent to our boundaries being pushed, good stuff happens, but only with consent. As far as where you can find me on the internet, like I said, on Valdrianth, but what I am doing, you can come to my channel first and foremost tomorrow at 1:30 Pacific Standard Time, or Daylight Time, West Coast time, as I like to call it. We will be kicking it off with some Dragon Age TTRPG, where we're also horny on main, and it's great. Then on Wednesdays, we play some Dungeons and Dragons, first with myself in the GM seat with my homebrew Dragonstone, and then my friend Robbie Rowland doing Revenge of the Gith, which are our two longest shows on the channel. They have been going on, Dragonstone's been going on for 3 years, and Revenge of the Gith has been going on for 2 years. And then last but not least, you can see my cute husband GM Thursdays, The Expanse over on my channel, which that group definitely deserves some love. I just run tech and I let them have fun with it. And then finally, last but not least, find me back here on Monday at Weave the Tale, where we're doing the finale of The Great American Witch. And I think that's it. I think that's all I'm doing. Yes, that's it. Cool, I'm done.
All right. Yeah, I mean, don't forget to subscribe if you're trying to see the shows that we're involved with. I think it's safe to say that this network, if you're seeing us, you're seeing our cast and vice versa, because yeah, you guys are great. And
Hit that follow button.
at the very
Smash
least,
that
you're going to see
notification
this
bell.
next week. Yes, yeah. Do violence to the button that brings you back to this channel. I have been Ian. My Twitter handle is Ian V James, because Ian C James was taken, so I just figured it's like Ian versus James or something. I thought it was catchy at the time. I shouldn't be allowed to change my handle, but here we are. You can find me on the Penny for a Tale network. I mean, Weave the Tale, Penny for the Tale on Sundays, where I have a Pathfinder game, but that's really about it. It was lovely having you guys. This was great. This is part 1 of 3 for this story, and at the rate that shit hit the fan, it's quite clear that a 3-parter would just about cover the story that I'm trying to tell here with you all. But oh, and then if you enjoyed the music, our ambience was from Michael Gelfi. You can find links to his music and ambient background noise tracks in the show notes. And then also, I think I had a couple of songs in there ahead of the major reveals. That was Rock Narden. You can find him on YouTube and Spotify. I'll have links in the show notes if you're watching this on YouTube. But with that being said, thank you for watching, and good night.
These are the tales we weave. Tales of magic. Tales of mystery. Tales exploring the beyond. And while we continue to grow, even more adventures await. telling